All right, season one, Mazzii Fit podcast. My name's Jessica, and I have set out to help those in need. I have been in some crazy situations. I've been homeless, been addicted to drugs, uh, cocaine and Xanax in particular. I've been through a lot of things, and I feel like my purpose is to help those that may be struggling with the same things. You know, I was about 60, 65, 70 pounds overweight, and that was probably one of the hardest things I've ever actually gone through, was looking at myself in the mirror and not actually liking, the person that was looking back at me. And there were multiple situations where I've felt that way in my life, but that one in particular, stung. And I feel like it hurt more knowing that I did it to myself. When I got sober, I didn't really have anything else in my life to think about other than getting sober. Other than just trying to figure out what, what not being on drugs was about, And, I think the main thing that really got me to flip that switch, because I actually just this year quit drinking alcohol in January. I quit smoking weed late last year. I was California sober for 5 years, and I actually just figured out what that meant. Was you're just smoking weed and pretty much nothing else. But I mean, I was also drinking alcohol. I thought that was funny. It's a funny term. But I used to think that everybody's sobriety journey was going to be different, and that's why I was still smoking and drinking and whatever. It turns out I was wrong. Being sober is not just for you. I feel like my sobriety journey would not be complete if I did not quit all substances. I feel like my journey as a mentor, as a teacher in the making, would not be complete if I didn't quit all substances. I had to face the facts of, why would somebody else listen to a person preaching about getting sober that still goes out on the weekends and has a drink, that still, unwinds with a joint at the end of the night. I felt like that would be so hypocritical of me to do. And I didn't think that it would just make me credible. I've never met a person in my life that is a teacher of something, but genuinely takes their own advice. And this is in person. I've seen people online all the time be a teacher, and they fucking live that shit. But I've seen so many instances where people will shoot out this advice to others. Oh, get sober, do your thing, whatever. But they are people that are not sober themselves, that they post that little cocktail on Instagram or whatever, and it's hypocritical, and that's just not the person that I've set out to be. So with that being said, I'm extremely excited because I've set out to launch this life coaching business to help people get sober, help people get in shape, help people to learn how to eat right, take care of their bodies. The one body, the one mind that they were given. And I feel like this is the most important thing that I'll ever do in my life. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to be strong enough to have gotten this far, because I never thought that I'd be able to say that I'm completely fucking sober and I can help other people do that shit. It's the greatest gift I've ever received, really. When I first, like the first month of me just no drugs, no bullshit. Like, obviously I was still drinking around that time. I spent, from the time I was 14 to the time I was 20 years old, on Xanax and cocaine. And when I tell you, not having that shit, for the first month, I was like, holy shit, the sky is blue. And that was a real thought that went through my head. I was like, holy shit, the fucking sky is so blue. Like, I could not believe how blue the sky was. Like, I couldn't believe how bright colors were. That shit's crazy, bro. So, if I can help one person with this podcast, with my coaching company, I'll have succeeded. I mean, I'm excited about telling the rest of my story. I'm going on the road. I'm going to see every single one of my family members, immediate family for the most part. Going up to see my dad, and we're going to sit down and talk to you guys about some of his experiences that he had while, I was on drugs, and from now we're going to, get into some stories. And then I'm going to drive even further up the coast and see my mother. And man, I'm so excited to see my mom. I don't really get to spend a lot of time with my mom, and her and I have had a wild relationship, but we always seem to find each other again. So I'm super excited about that. And then the craziest shit of all, I'm going to see my grandfather that spent 32 years serving this country in the U.S. Navy. Man, that dude has some shit to say, bro. Like, he's got stories on stories. So I'm so excited to share this shit with you guys. It's gonna get fucking heavy. It's gonna get emotional, but I'm also gonna try to keep it as light and fun as possible. But I really hope that everybody understands how important it is, like what I'm doing here, and what I genuinely am doing is what I feel my purpose. I've created this 10.0 version of myself where, at one point I was homeless. And had nothing. I spent time, just living in my car with my dog. And to be able to take that same dog, years later, she's 7 now, and take her on this road trip across the U.S. and be like, yo, like, I know it sounds so crazy, but I'm literally sharing this experience with, an animal that has seen me at my fucking worst. So that's super important to me. So long story short, after I got sober and tried to find my way into this new world that I kind of didn't even know existed, the sober or California sober world, for a little while. Like I said, I was 20 years old when I got sober. I had no idea. Like, my entire teenage years were completely gone. I spent them doing nothing but partying. I had a lot of struggles with my family, and we're going to get into that while I'm on the road, and they speak about, their personal experiences with, what I had been through, the car accidents and the crazy nights where they couldn't sleep, the late night phone calls, just kind of wondering where I'm at, what I'm doing and shit, and that shit's heavy to put on your people. Like, I genuinely hope that, even though this is, the first of many podcasts that I do, I really hope that somebody sees the fact that, you really are affecting the people around you, and it's not about you, Sometimes when you hear your self-talk and your depression and your anxiety, it's very selfish. I know we all have our struggles, and it's difficult. Trust me. I've dealt with some crazy ass shit, but I came out on the fucking other side. I made it into a great career, very successful career. I made it into a beautiful luxury apartment. I made it into driving the truck of my dreams, literally, something that I dreamed of when I was 12 years old. So, to be able to say I did all that, and now I'm able to travel the country and make people maybe think a little differently about getting sober, maybe give somebody the light and the hope behind the fucking difficult ass task of getting sober. And I feel like getting into the fitness aspect of everything and the nutrition side, I was very lucky to have not only gotten sober, but to take all of those skills from doing so, and being able to look at myself in the mirror, 60 to 70 pounds overweight, and say enough is enough. I have to treat myself with respect. I have to love myself. I have to fill my cup, because this is the one body the one mind, the one fucking soul that I was given on this earth. And why the fuck am I gonna disrespect that? Why am I gonna disrespect myself by feeling so insecure, digging this hole for myself, where at first I was like, damn, dude, this is taking forever. Like, I stopped working out for like a good week and a half, because I was like, damn, dude, this is so hard. This is difficult, man. It was way more difficult than I thought. But then I realized, I was like, man, what if I do it and I'm able to get somebody else to do it, and then they get somebody else to do it. And that was my thought process. Like, I was like, damn, dude, if I fucking get skinny and I fucking have abs again, and like the weirdest shit went through my mind. I was like, damn, maybe I can fucking get somebody else to do this shit, because this shit feels good. Like, in all fucking reality, nobody wants to wake up and look in the mirror and not like what they see. And that's just a fucking fact. And it's so important to be able to recognize those things about yourself that maybe you don't like, maybe you like to change, maybe you just want to get to a place where you can look in the mirror and say, damn, bro, that's me. That confidence, that fucking, like, feeling of looking in the mirror and being like, damn, bro, that's me. That feeling, that is an irreplaceable feeling that I genuinely would love for everybody to feel. So, sharing my fitness journey, my sobriety journey, my journey with nutrition, because I am literally the pickiest person on the planet. I ate chicken nuggets and french fries and mac and cheese my entire life. So now, having to measure my food and eat, green stuff, like my mom will tell you, bro, when we get on the road, is impossible. I didn't even eat a raspberry. I gagged. It was terrible. That video will get leaked one day, and it'll be hilarious. But I hope that I'm able to inspire somebody to take that fucking step. Take that step in the direction of, I want to better myself. I want to flip that switch. I want to finally get to a place where I can cry because I'm grateful, and not be crying because I'm sad or depressed. That happens to me a lot. I have cried more recently because I'm grateful than any other time in my life. Not a lot of people can say that they get to live their dream. And not a lot of people can say that their dream is going to help others. So I'm very excited to fulfill this dream and to hopefully inspire all of you. You guys are the fucking best. I'm so excited for this journey. It's gonna be fucking awesome. Let's fucking go, baby.